3.
So the next thing we'll be talking about is digital editing, and we'll be talking about touch-ups. The touch-ups are often done to get rid of blemishes or imperfections or just anything to straighten something out, maybe a nose. So, like in this picture, for instance, you can see that the color wasn't really what the photographer was looking for. You can see that a lot of bags under your eyes was removed. Moles, bumps, anything on the skin just to clean it out and to make that look a little more editorial. You can also do color enhancements. Color enhancements can set a mood on a picture. For instance, this one up here looks more like the original one. Then you can just add like maybe a film grain, or make it look like it's a Polaroid or something in that direction. And you can add little things like lens flares to give it a bit of more of a moody touch to it. Now, there's also what I call digital manipulation and or constructive surgery. Yeah, you can do a lot with Photoshop. I use Photoshop to do my manipulations. You can make someone look slimmer. You can probably add a third arm onto somebody. You can straighten out the nose. You can make their head look bigger, make them look like they have more hair. There's a lot of things you can do with digital manipulation. And you can also create things. Sky's the limit when it comes to digital manipulation. As you can see, there's a picture. It looks like this was taken from an original picture and someone made it look like these people are coming out of a picture. And there's also manipulation with people that take pictures in a studio. They get cut out and they get placed into a fake world. As you can see, this looks very fake. The lighting is off a little bit, so you can tell that this person really wasn't in this area. So yeah, that is basically the 4 important things you need to know about photography. We talked about DSLRs, we talked about lenses, lighting, and digital editing. And if you know how to work all of these things, and you will be able to be a professional photographer maybe. And that's it. Thank you so much. So, does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice presentation.
thank you.
How does one really get started in photography?
Well, like I said, you probably want to start off with selecting the correct camera, and then you would want to try to find the correct lens, and then you probably just want to go explore and experiment. After a while, you can find books and videos and take classes that will be able to help you get a little grip on photography. Any other questions? Don't be shy. No?
One more question.
Sure.
There seems to be a big difference as far as the photography you see out in the field, action photography, and still photography, where you might take like a pattern that you see out in everyday life and turn it into something that's beautiful and unusual. And I guess the question is subject matter when it comes to photography. What is the best subject matter that you can find out there?
Wow, that's a really broad question, but I will try to narrow it down a little bit. The subject matter really depends on the photographer's preference.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of different photography. There's journalistic photography, there's stock photography, model photography. There's so many different photography styles out there that you can't really pinpoint. It's really just personal preference to what subject matter you want to actually use.
Okay.
And it depends on what you're trying to achieve. It depends on what you like.
All right.
Any other questions?
I guess I just had a question about the digital manipulation.
Yeah.
How much, I guess, is it
specific as well to the photographer as far as how much you use in a shot?
How much I use in a shot?
Yeah, like how much Photoshop you might place in a shot. Or,
It really all depends on how good the picture is. If the
Yeah.
picture doesn't need much work, then more than likely I won't have to do too much. I've had pictures where I hadn't had to do much at all, and then there have been pictures where I had to do some serious touch-up. It depends on what, if I'm really trying to manipulate something, then it can take 4 or 5 hours of work, where if somebody just says, hey, I have a picture, can you just get rid of my blemishes, it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, tops. If you know what you're doing. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate your time. Thank you.
thank you.
Gosh,
So this was just a rehearsal, or?
I wish it was.